Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 GMO achievement run, where we are taking the suggested combinations from the mod author and seeing if we can get the unlocks for them. We're down to the final stretch with these achievements, and we're getting into the weird combos, so I'm really excited because some of these later ones are quite difficult or very odd, and the one that we have coming up next, I think, is going to be one of those ones that is both extremely difficult and plays out pretty weirdly. Mage and Hunter combined has very little synergy as a character combination because Mage doesn't get to use ranged damage. Hunter mostly wants to use ranged weapons, and Hunter gets critical hit chance, which Mage's burn damage doesn't really care about. So the two characters don't synergize in terms of their offense, and then Hunter, of course, has all the defense penalties. So I think this is going to be a pretty difficult run. Let's see if we can make it work, though. So we get Mage, which gives us a lot of burn damage related things, but we can't use ranged damage modifications or melee damage modifications. But we get more elemental damage, and we get a snake and a scared sausage. And then Hunter gives us significantly less HP, but we get damage from range. We can't use harvesting, which turns off one of the common strategies for Mage, or at least makes it much harder. And we get more bonus crit chance, but that won't help our fire. I think there are really like 3 ways we could go about trying to do this build. Maybe 4. So I think we could go for a standard mage build using tasers and just try to set everything on fire and just accept that we're playing tasers without the elemental damage bonus. We could also go for a standard hunter build using crossbows. Crossbows mostly scale their base damage with your range rather than with ranged damage, so the fact that Mage can't buy ranged damage doesn't really matter for the Hunter. I think this would be a relatively boring way to play because you're just playing a slightly worse Hunter, but this is definitely one way that you could make that work. Similarly, you could do like shurikens or thief daggers or others, no, I guess you can't do shurikens because those scale off of melee damage. Never mind. Yeah, it only works with crossbows. We could also try weapons that scale with elemental damage, like Plank, Torch, or Lightning Shiv. And of these, I think that Torch is interesting because it gives you HP, which is pretty nice, and has base damage from the weapon, just from elemental damage, so that could help out pretty well. But the one that I think is coolest, because it actually uses the abilities of both classes, is Lightning Shiv. I think that this might be an extremely hard way to play this combo, but I'm going to give it a shot because it uses the precise tag, so it uses the hunter's bonus, and it uses the elemental tag, so it uses the mage bonus, and we can see if we can make it work. If I die here, I might try it with torches instead. That might be the easiest way to win this combo. I'm really not sure what the best way to play this one is. So obviously with Lightning Shiv, we are going to run into a problem where we need the actual bounces to hit the enemies rather than our weapon attacks, because the bounces are what is going to actually do damage. Those scale off of our elemental damage, whereas the weapon attacks scale off melee damage, which we won't be able to increase. So we're going to need to level our weapons up to level 2 as soon as possible. I'm just going to take some attack speed there. We'll need that. I'll definitely lock Sharp Bullet. That will make our bounces significantly better, so very happy to see that. Mutation for +1 elemental damage, -3% speed. I don't think we'll lock that. I think we can leave this slot open to find bags or XP or something like that. Obviously not harvesting, because the hunter can't use harvesting, but we mostly want to roll for lightning shivs at this point. Got another one, that's great. On the other hand, charcoal I will lock. This is just a more efficient way to buy elemental damage that doesn't cost us a stat we care about because we can't lose harvesting, since the hunter has 0% harvesting change. Finding 4 lightning shivs is pretty nice for the first wave, so I would say we are set up reasonably well to make this work. I'm really unsure of whether this is a good way to go about this build. I think we might end up in a lot of trouble depending on exactly what elites we get and stuff, but this is the one that uses both characters' abilities, so I wanted to give it a try because I think it's more fun to try to do that at least. See, can we break this tree? We can, right at the end. Left a lot of materials on the ground, so one thing we are going to be needing to keep an eye out for is geckos or alien tongues, because we're going to be bouncing shots all over the map, so more materials. Material pickup will be important. we'll just take elemental damage just to scale our weapons, and then pick this up and roll, see if I can lock another one. I can. If I'd managed to pick up even just a few more materials, we'd be able to buy another one, which would be awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't, so we're stuck with 4, but 4 with a 5th locked is fine. We got fairly lucky, and we got to save some materials in terms of our rolls for the first wave, and we got to save some materials this wave, so could be worse. It took a lot of damage there because any hit I take is very, very dangerous thanks to the downsides of Hunter, and of course, we could be dead basically instantly. We can't defend ourselves because our actual weapon attacks do very little damage, so it's very difficult for me to protect myself. For that reason, I'll definitely take Bat here. It doesn't cost us anything, or it costs us 7 materials, but it doesn't cost us any harvesting, and the lifesteal with our weapon bounces will be very useful for keeping us alive. I'll just take 5 luck. I could roll for other stats, but honestly, I think I want to save my money at this point and not reroll, and just buy anything that helps. So I'll just buy like 5% more attack speed, because I think that will allow us to be most comfortable in terms of being able to roll for items that we actually care about in the shop. I'll pick up a lightning shiv here, of course, and then we want this whole shop. I can't afford all of it. I guess I'll start with the sharp bullet and the charcoal, lock the snake, and I will do 1 reroll to see if I can lock another shiv. I couldn't. Do I want to roll again? We're guaranteed to see 1 weapon in the shop, so I will spend 5 to see if I can lock another shiv, which I can, and we in fact get to lock this whole shop. So that worked out pretty well. Spending 9 there to guarantee a shiv, especially because it costs less than it would next shop, I think was definitely worth it. So I think people aren't aggressive enough typically about re-rolling in those early shops, and especially for this character who wants to level our weapons as soon as we can. Because in order to kill an enemy next to us, we're going to need the second bounce so that our lightning comes back and hits an enemy that we're actually hitting with our weapons. So it's very important that we level up our lightning shivs to at least level 2 as soon as possible. Here I'm going to take 10 HP. I like 10 luck as well, or 6 HP. I like 10 luck as well, but this character really needs to prioritize buying HP because we're the hunter and we want to get out of one-shot range as soon as we can. If I can hit like 40 HP before the elite, that will be good because then I won't just die in one shot. Take the lightning shiv. I think we can afford to buy the whole shop, so we will. And then we'll roll again, buy another shiv. Unfortunately, butterfly doesn't do anything for me. Injection, I think, is good enough to lock, though, because percent damage, of course, helps with our fire, as well as our actual damage. This run, I think, is going fairly well in terms of this build, which obviously is a weak build. It's like a difficult build to play, so there's only so well it can be going. But I think that this run is a pretty good example. We've managed to fill out our weapon set quite early, and we got the piercing shots, which are helping a lot in terms of wave clear. So being able to level up our shivs to at least level 2, if we can get that going next, will be a really big deal. The only thing that we're missing is economy items like bag or anything along those lines. Here, I'll just take 5 luck. I think that's fine, and we'll take 6 more max HP. Perfect. It's actually not 6 max HP, it's 4 max HP, but you know. Pumpkin, so the piercing damage on our shots, I think we've got minus 20%, so I guess it's worth picking up Pumpkin. So we'll buy this, I'll buy this, buy this, buy this, and we get a free reroll. Level 2 Lightning Shiv is great. Coupon's great. I got really excited by this wheelbarrow for a second there, but of course we can't use it on the hunter. Just like other mage builds, I think we will take sort of other ways to spread fire around. Like if we find Pocket Factory, I might pick that up. But mostly at this point, our offense is doing pretty well, so I'm more concerned about our defense. I just want to get enough max HP that we don't get one shot, get enough lifesteal that we can always heal back to full very quickly if I do take a hit, because that's just very important to this character. Since every hit represents such a large percentage of our HP, one way that we can scale our defenses better is by having high healing, so that we heal back to full. Because it doesn't really matter what your max HP is if you just heal all the damage you take immediately. That healing scales with armor and dodge just as well as max HP does. I'll take the level 3 attack speed. That will help more than any of these other options, I think. And then we'll take Coupon and level up a Lightning Shiv to level 3, or level 2. Gambling token I'm going to pass on. I don't want to reduce my armor, and it just costs 100, so it's really expensive. So although we would definitely take dodge, and we will start buying dodge once we have a little more max HP, I think it's more important that I get my... that I don't spend too much money and get my offense and stuff online sooner. Boiling water we'll take. That increases our damage output. And snake... I don't know if we actually need it. We've already got 2. Spreading our fire even further does sound nice, but with piercing shots and 2 snakes, I think we can afford to skip it. I will also skip this pumpkin because it's only giving us 5% piercing damage and costing us 2% damage. So 3% damage on half of our attacks for 73, I just don't think is worth it. I will roll here, and then sunglasses for minus armor and plus crit chance. I think I will pass on those, and we'll just save my money going into the next wave. I was hoping to find something that we wanted there. Unfortunately didn't, but I do think we have to be a little picky about what we buy. Having not found a baby gecko is very unfortunate. Obviously, that's a top tier item for Hunter in general, but especially for this version of Hunter, where we gain percentage damage from it and get to actually pick up some of these materials that we're scattering everywhere. These large groups of enemies are great because they just die to the bounces immediately. What I'm really worried about is the elite coming up on wave 11, so we'll just see if we can get enough defenses to survive the elite. If we die on that, then we might try the torch version of the build. Obviously, I'm completely unable to keep the eggs alive, so we don't get to hatch any eggs. Cake is awesome here, and 4 more max HP, 6 max HP that turns into 4 is really nice, because then we're just much less likely to die. Let's upgrade our weapons some more. Picket sign doesn't do anything for us. We don't want to reduce our damage. And I think I will actually skip the injection here. I think we need to be very careful about reducing our max HP. Buy the cake. Upgrade our shiv. Again, I'm going to skip snake. I just don't think we need that many of them, and we will take broken mouth. So now we've managed to get up to 30 HP, feeling a lot better. If I can get a little bit of armor, that will help as well, but just getting our max HP to the point where we're not dying is very nice. We'll buy the charcoal as well, and go to the next wave. I could buy the medical turret, but I think our healing, given that we have a bunch of consumable heal, and we will be building some lifesteal, I think our healing is fine. I think the things I need more are defensive stats like armor, and HP, of course, and move speed. We're definitely going to need some move speed before we face the elite, because otherwise we're going to just die immediately by getting run down and caught by it. Walked right into that enemy and then almost walked right back into it, so I came very close to dying there. I do like how many bounces we get, and they're just like bouncing across the whole map all the time. We have the piercing shots, so they continuously bounce. I will say that my actual weapon damage isn't as high as I'd like. Like the bouncing shots aren't doing as much damage as I'd like. Boxing glove is funny, so we can knock back enemies, which could be useful against the rib cages on wave 11. Being able to knock them back is pretty important, but because we have bouncing shots, it will ping-pong enemies all over the map. I think I'm going to recycle the boxing glove. It's just too unpredictable. So here is where you can see why the Hunter range bonus is the bonus 1% damage per 10 range is just not that good. We can take 45 range and get 4.5 damage, or we could just take 12 damage. I'm just going to take 12 damage. I mean, I could take luck, but more damage is good here. Silver Bullet, this will help a lot, so I'll pick that up, and we'll take Shady Potion as well. Go to wave 9. That's a great pickup. The The Shady Potion is a great pickup going into Wave 9, because of course we'll get more boxes. Marksmanship doesn't do anything for us, because we can't gain ranged damage, so it won't do anything. Also, as we saw in my previous video, this item is broken, and I think I'm just going to not buy it in future, because I think it's a modded item that's just not very well balanced. So for the sake of fairness with these runs, I think I will avoid it. Up to 30 HP. I'd really like to hit 50 with like 3 or 4 armor in the next 2 waves. I don't know if that's possible, but that's kind of the benchmark I have in mind. So pretty much right now I'm just concerned about getting armor, getting lifesteal, and getting HP. Really wish that I had found a Scar or some other form of XP gain up to this point. XP gain is really nice for Hunter because you just need the health so much. So even though you get less value per level because your health is reduced, so you just get fewer HP from leveling, you need the health so much more that it's very important to find it. We're not going to kill that loot alien. 477's pretty bad there. Alien Baby, although I really want max HP, I just don't think we can afford to take that with 0% speed. We'll recycle that. Mutation is more damage, but again, my speed is at 0. Can I go down 3% speed? I probably have to. I think we need to buy damage here. And then I will take 3 armor. That will solve our armor problem. And then more attack speed. Yeah, I guess I'll take that rather than rerolling. Medkit. This costs me luck, but gives me quite a lot of healing. I think that will help, so we'll pick that up. Now I can buy some HP regen. Buy Lightning Shiv there as well. Let's roll. On a normal mage build, you might take Laser Turret to spread fire around, but this build obviously doesn't have a problem with that. All our shots bounce everywhere. I'm not going to buy the mutation here. I'm just going to reroll. I will buy the bait, because more damage is good. Let's upgrade our weapon. Not finding any health, or I was complaining about not finding any health, but we did in fact find some. I think I will buy the Alien Worm here. Although losing consumable heal is quite bad, this character just needs any health that we can get. And the 2 regen does combo reasonably well with our medkit, just to get us to reasonable levels of regen faster. Also, I did just reduce my luck, so I think the Alien Worm is good here. We're up to 36 HP. We're definitely not going to hit 50, but if I can... Oops, walked right into that last shot right at the end. As soon as there was nothing causing me to run into it, I ran into it. If we can sit at 40 HP and just find some move speed before the next level, then I'll be happy, I think. Now that we've got the med kit, we have a much better way of healing, so we shouldn't be in too much trouble there. This run is going to depend, I think, somewhat on what elite we get. Since we have terrible single target damage, some elites will be very dangerous for us, but if we get like a summoner elite, that shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to have to hard roll for move speed at this point, though. Going into an elite fight with minus 3% speed is just too difficult. Alright, there's our baby gecko, sure. And then I do want the elemental damage, but I have to buy move speed, so let's roll again. I missed twice. Do I take 9% dodge? Take 30 range? Do I roll again? I think I'm going to take the dodge. We can start building that. And I'll do one more reroll here. Okay, we got really unlucky trying to find speed. I rolled several times and didn't find it. Eye surgery is pretty nice. The faster burning damage will help clear the elite, but can I afford to do that, or do I need to roll for move speed? I think it's so difficult to find move speed rolling in the shop that I'm just going to buy these items. Hope we can burst down the elite before we die, and that's just going to have to be our plan. Landmines can help spread fire around. Missile for % damage. I just don't think we want that, but I will roll again and take another lightning shiv. Glasses for a little more range and 2% damage I think is worth buying here. The range is actually still pretty nice because our attack range does actually matter. So just the fact that this also gives 2% damage will make it a little better. So now we're going to try to fight an elite. We have 43 HP, 3 dodge, or 3 armor and 9 dodge, and negative speed. So I'm not feeling great about this. It's going to be hard to avoid getting hit by it, but hopefully we can just burst it down. This is definitely one of the harder elites that we could get as well, because it will not allow us to hit it consistently. And it's going to charge at us, so that's unfortunate. Let's see if we can get our bounces to actually hit it. Walked into that attack, but there are some consumables on the ground, so that'll be helpful. We'll say our ricochets are not bouncing to the elite very effectively here. It looks like we're not going to be able to kill it. I thought maybe we could, but I think we're just going to avoid it. If our ricochets do kill it, then great. If not, then we'll just accept that we didn't kill it and just try to stay alive for the rest of the wave. We came very close to being able to kill it, but because we don't really get to choose where our damage goes... Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's not walk into that shot at the last second there. Yeah, because we don't get to choose where our damage goes, we didn't quite manage to finish it off, but surviving is all we cared about that wave, so having made it through, we're very happy. Vigilante Ring is going to be good here. I'll take 3% lifesteal. That can keep us alive a lot better. Muscly Dude, yep, we'll take this. It costs us % damage. We don't get anything from the melee damage, but the HP is still just so good. Take range. Do I want improved tools? I don't think so. Sunglasses I could pick up and just make our shots crit more often, which is pretty nice. Weird Ghost, we have regeneration and lifesteal, so we can afford to buy that. I'll buy the Insanity as well. I do need to be a little bit careful in the opening sections of the wave because our weapons don't protect us. Just hard to play around the fact that our actual attacks is not what's killing the enemy, so we can't reliably kill stuff that's up next to us. You are trained when playing Brotato that stuff up next to you is what's dying first, so the fact that this build doesn't do that is one of the more difficult things about playing it. Sure, that time all our bounces went to the loot alien and killed it immediately. If that had happened with the elite, we would have a level 4 item now. But we got kind of unlucky with where our bounces went. They kept not targeting it and just bouncing off into space. I am curious what everyone thinks the easiest way to do this combo is. I don't think it's this way. This has felt pretty tenuous, but I'm not sure what actually would be better. I'll take just the % damage there, continue to upgrade our shivs, and buy some more crit chance and roll. Flamethrower could be pretty nice. I mean, obviously it's really good on the Mage. Let's buy the coupon. The amount of damage that this does, combined with lifesteal, yeah, I think we're going to buy the Flamethrower. This will help a lot just to keep us alive, and then we'll buy Defective Steroids just for 1.3 HP. I think that is worth it. Warrior Helmet, yes. Ritual, yes. Sunglasses, I guess I'll buy as well. Still going to need some move speed eventually. Before we fight the bosses, at least. But the Flamethrower is a good way for us to actually manage to kill these enemies. And the range from the Hunter on the Flamethrower is actually quite relevant. Range on Flamethrower is very good. That's normally the only thing that holds this otherwise excellent weapon back, is its relatively short range. I'm very curious what the damage done metric is going to be after this wave on the Flamethrower versus the shivs. Like, we've invested some into critical hit chance and so on, so whether that is actually improving our shivs enough to outpace the Flamethrower, I'm interested in. We'll recycle that. Yeah, let's take a look. So this is 6,000 damage and 8,400 on the level 4 shiv. Level 2 shiv doing 4,500. So yeah, the Flamethrower is holding its own. It's not winning instantly, but the real thing about Flamethrower is just that it attacks incredibly fast, so you lifesteal off of it constantly. That's the thing that makes this item so good. Let's start with the Lucky Charm, and I'm just going to need Wave Clear, so I'll buy these 2 items rather than the Warrior Helmet. I didn't do the math there, so was lucky we had 4 materials over. But I think I would rather have the move speed and the Wave Clear for Wave 14 than the armor and health. We've got 50 health, we have decent healing, so the main thing that I want is just to be able to clear these guys as fast as possible. Our piercing damage on the Flamethrower, obviously, or our extra pierce on the Flamethrower obviously doesn't do much. And the pierce does less the more bounces we have on our lightning shivs. But I think the Sharp Bullet was instrumental in this run going as well as it did. It just made our wave clear in the early game so much better. Now that we have picked up the Flamethrower and are more of a traditional mage build, I think I'm regretting not picking up stuff like the landmines just to spread fire around. Although I guess it's only on this horde wave where that's going to be an issue. On other waves where there's just fewer enemies on the field, we just won't have that problem. Oh, now we get a bag after we picked up all these things. We'll still take it. Warrior Helmet, yep. Adrenaline, sure. Can I get more than 3% move speed? I'm going to roll for it. Let's roll twice and see if we can get that. Nope, 3% move speed it is. I do have to pick it. Going down to minus 20% move speed is just too terrible. Alright, we're still not finding more move speed, but I'll take the eye surgery and roll again. Baby Gecko. Roll one more time. I'm looking for shivs, flamethrowers, or just more move speed. I think at this point I'm now not going to take the next Warrior Helmet. At 60 HP I think we're fine, and going down to minus 16% speed is pretty awful, especially going into the next Elite Wave, so I think we will actually skip the Warrior Helmet. Not an item that you will regularly see me skip, especially on a build that needs HP this badly, but the only problem this build is currently having right now is that we're at minus 11% move speed, and that's a really big problem, so I want to solve that as soon as possible. Now that we've found 2 geckos, we're leaving many fewer materials on the ground. We could also use a cute monkey, baby elephant, that kind of thing as well, because we're pulling in these materials, so healing off of them would be very valuable. Dynamite will recycle. Even if we end up picking up some explosive items, which is possible, we won't pick up we won't be relying on the explosive damage of those items. Unless we get a nuke launcher, I guess. If we get a nuke launcher, I'll regret passing the dynamite, but if we get a nuke launcher, the run will sort of win itself for us anyways. I'll upgrade my shiv and buy focus. That will help with wave clear. Oh, obviously I should have bought the coupon first. That was just a dumb error, but that's okay. Just forgot we had that locked in the shop. Cost myself 30 materials or whatever. Come on, move speed. Even another level 1 move speed upgrade would be a pretty big help at this point. I did pass on one, I don't know, a while ago, but that was before we bought 2 warrior helmets. See, we got the bag, so now we are cursed to never have a crate drop again. I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for move speed. 9% crit chance. I think I still need to roll. Alright, I'll take max HP. More piercing, I don't think we actually need. I'll take energy bracelet. That's going to be very good. Weird food, sure. Rolling again. Whetstone is great. That will just help us stay alive. Blood leech, I don't think we need. Whetstone is just more efficient for us. And then I will save my money rather than re-rolling for 30. I'm not that worried about move speed on these waves, so I'm not like aggressively re-rolling in the shop for it yet, but we will need some before we fight the bosses. This one flamethrower is gonna be a huge boost to our ability to survive against the bosses, because we can just lifesteal off of it. If I get a second one, that will make us much harder to kill as well. Hey, we got a box. Incidentally, the amount of negative range that we've bought, and sort of been forced to buy, like with just all the excellent items that decrease your range, is why the Hunter bonus damage from range is a downside most of the time. It looks like it's going to be an upside, but there's so many good items that decrease your range, and items that increase your range are very inefficient. So you much prefer to, you would usually prefer not to have that ability. Let's roll here again. Still looking for move speed. Still looking for move speed. Hey, okay. Going up to negative 2% move speed matters so much. I'm very happy we found that. Duct tape for 1 armor. Yeah, I'll take it. And then I will roll. Lure, sure. Hunting trophy, yes, we've got excellent crit chance, so the hunting trophy will help out a lot. So let's pick up the hunting trophy and the insanity. We'll lock the lure, and then just go fight the elite next. A lot of enemies are going to die from fire, which obviously won't get us hunting trophy damage, but a lot of enemies will hopefully die from crits, since our crit damage is so high. Taking some damage, I really need to heal back up here. The longer... this is another relatively difficult elite. We can't focus it easily for our lifesteal. Now that we're inside its radius, we can do that better. And we've gotten it to its second stage, where it'll follow us, where we can focus damage on it more easily. We haven't been able to buy enough elemental damage, really, to be able to actually reliably kill elites. I've been more focused on just getting our defensive stats online. So this is one of those builds where if we'd gotten more elemental damage, we could kill elites more reliably. As is, we're just focused on staying alive through the elite waves. We're getting very close to killing them each time, but that's just not what we've ended up getting. But Fuel Tank might help change that. Take the lure here. Alien magic I will take as well. It does cost me 8 luck, but all the other stats are great. Let's roll. Poisonous tonic I think will help for us, and energy bracelet of course is excellent, as is razor blade. Even though this reduces our speed, it just gives us 2 stats we really, really want. So now I've got a couple items I want locked in the shop, and we're just gonna hard roll for movement speed again. Trying to pick up some of these materials though, which is proving challenging because we're so slow. Got decent damage on the loot aliens and have managed to kill both of them. Killed some trees. As long as we're continuously attacking, we're fine, because we've now have 15% lifesteal and a flamethrower. But if I ever move away enough from enemies that I'm not attacking, then that will definitely hurt us. I'm curious about the hunting trophy. I think it has paid for itself. I'm not going to take the weird ghost because we're going into wave 20. I would take it if we were going into wave 19, but not into the boss wave, of course. Boiling water, yes, we'll take that. Injection, I'll take that as well Crown, of course we won't take that, and then 6% speed, perfect. We're at least up to 0%, which is very nice. Roll again here. Do I just want armor on the duct tape? Do I want to roll for other stuff? I think 1 armor is going to be better than most other stuff that I could find, so I'll just get that. The crit chance I'm not that worried about. I think I will roll past it. We'll take Broken Mouth. I will take Blindfold. This cost me range, but the crit chance on Blindfold is fine. And the bonus dodge could help keep us alive. I think it's better than anything we would roll into. If we, we're more likely to roll into something that we actually wanted, I wouldn't have taken this, but this is the thing that will help us the most going into this fight. Alright, so we've made it. We're at, and you can see, yeah, the Flamethrower is really just doing so well compared to, like, it's the same as a level 3 Shiv. We are going into the boss fight with only 1% speed and only 70 HP, but we've got decent healing. I don't think our damage is up to the task of defeating them, which is often the case for elemental builds. You just don't usually kill the bosses with elemental builds. I need to stay close to them so that I can continuously lifesteal, and keeping them on fire is a secondary concern, just like doing damage. Ooh, I definitely did not want to do that. Alright. Need to not walk into every single attack, though. I'm too slow, so I need to... It's usually right to be moving clockwise on this fight, so that you are walking against traffic of this elite's circle. It's easier to dodge it when it's coming towards you, but that's especially true when you're this slow, because if you try to move with it, it will catch up to you, and it's just much harder to dodge with this little move speed. But again, this Flamethrower is just doing so much work. We're able to just heal up immediately. Oh, walked into that. Alright, well, we got a full heal, and actually we killed the boss, so maybe we can kill the second boss if it ever comes close to us and we can light it on fire. Come back! Come back! I wish to defeat you. Yes! Alright, we got it right at the end. With 0 seconds remaining, we have killed the boss, and we have picked up the Magic Barrier item. Let me take a look at some stats, then we'll look at the item. So, 33,000 damage from the Scared Sausages. Passing on the snakes, I think, was right when we did it, but maybe it would have been better to have a third one. You don't really need too many of these, just enough to spread fire across a whole cluster of enemies, but I think that worked out. The big thing here was just finding Sharp Bullet for early on in the run. The Sharp Bullet was a huge boost to this character. Other than that, 3 coupons was pretty nice. The hunting trophy ended up giving us 350, so it paid for itself and gave us a little bit of a profit, so that was nice as well. The bag, it paid for itself even though we got it pretty late, so as always, bag overperforming. But mostly this build just came down to managing to get Sharp Bullet and a decent enough healing, and then the Flamethrower was what carried us through the end game because of the Lifesteal plus Flamethrower being such a powerful combination. 31,000 damage on the Flamethrower compared to 24,000 on the level 4 Shiv, so the Flamethrower really showing why it's such a good item for the Mage, but also for any character who's building elemental damage. Alright, and we got the Magic Barrier. +1 armor for every 6 elemental damage we have, 30 range. Elemental damage modifications are increased by 15%, but it costs you a huge amount of stats. That's an interesting item. I think it is very rare that you're going to want to buy -5% speed and -10% attack speed no matter the boost. I mean, that boost is very good. And if you get it early enough, that can let you increase your elemental damage by a lot. But -5% speed, -10% attack speed is a huge penalty. I think this item is very rarely going to get purchased, to be honest. And usually just for fun more than for it being actually correct. But maybe I'll be wrong. Still, it's nice to add in a couple weaker items because a lot of the unlocked items are very powerful. Alright, my friends, that is the run, and I hope you enjoyed this look at the Mage and the Hunter. That was a tough one. I am really not convinced that we chose the best strategy for it, but it worked, so, you know, at the end of the day, scoreboard. But definitely let me know your idea for beating this character combination. I feel like this one might not be very consistent, so if there's a more consistent build out there, then definitely let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Alright, cheers my friends, hope you enjoyed the video, and of course if you have, feel free to leave a comment and like the video, helps me out with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game content, and I will catch you next time. Cheers folks, GG.